And then I'm gonna talk about the top 10 worst days of 2017. And man, that's a lot of shit. So we have 4 dishonorable mentions. 2017 is a better year than 2016, but it's still, there's a lot of crappy moments on this year. Let's start off with March 17th. Yeah, the band Spoon released a pretty good album, but after school, at school I was kind of like a detective. I look for people, and I was trying to find someone, but I couldn't find them. And then I almost won a round of video games, but I lost. I tried to carry my teammate. I and Leo were playing, in fact, but we lost, so it kind of sucks. And then at night, I couldn't use the bathroom because my dad was using it, and it was an unpleasant day. Also, on October 23rd, I lost all video games I played during the duration of 3 hours. I got really stressed. I kept spilling like food over the table when I was having dinner, 4 times in fact. And then my brother, uh, he was being disgusting and rude, and I was trying to teach him to not be rude, but he's just being so annoying. Oh my gosh. August 12 is also kind of crappy. Ironically, it's the first day, or actually the second day in New Zealand, and the flight from Hong Kong to Auckland is really dreadful. My battery of my phone is going down so quick, and it was such a boring flight. I couldn't sleep. I didn't sleep for like 18 hours already, and so in Hong Kong time, I did not sleep from like nighttime all the way to morning, like 9 a.m. And so I didn't sleep a lot, and I was really tired, and I was really bored. And when it was like 4 a.m. in Hong Kong, it was like 7 a.m. in Auckland, and we kind of see the sun rise in Auckland. It's okay, I guess, but it's also really annoying. And then we made it to the airport, and we still had to wait for the airport for 8 a.m. We had to wait until 8 a.m. until the shuttle buses arrive. So we waited again and again and again, and we waited for the shuttle bus for a long time, and apparently we missed a lot of shuttle bus. And then we arrived to the car rental place, and apparently some error happened and we couldn't rent the car that we were supposed to rent. So we just rent another car, and then it was a mess. We didn't have breakfast, so my parents kind of bought me and brother a sandwich, and I slept on the car on the way up up to Kerry to meet up with my mom's friend who lives there. And yeah, that's basically the day. And we spent over 3 hours in the airport just waiting and trying to fix problems, and it's dreadful. Also, on June 24th, it was a really busy Saturday. It, I had a haircut, and it suddenly rains, and I had to go to swim, which is terrible and annoying. It was such a nuisance, and I also had to attend a lot of other activities. But oh, here comes the top 10. Here comes the top 10. Number 10 would be November 16th to 17th. The solution. So again, if you watched my school update videos, you would probably know what's happening. I tried to help a suicidal girl, a depressed, anxious, suicidal girl at school, and she studies a lot, so I kind of want to indirectly help her, but first I kind of also want to catch her boyfriend's attention. Like I and her boyfriend were not super close, but I basically wrote the word "stop studying" on the blackboard, and her boyfriend is pissed. And then, oh gosh, and then I realized that Natalie and another classmate is having secret appointments the whole time, and they were keeping me in the dark. And on November 17th, I realized that Cedric, Natalie, Jeffrey, and Tyrus hated me, kinda, and no one really cares about me. And then I just feel so dumb, and everyone treated me like garbage. And my phone nearly died on that morning. It keeps on turning off itself. The battery was insane. Fortunately, my friend Cedric kind of helped me with it. Number 9 would be February 16th, Snatched. The breakfast, the lunch, and the dinner was so disgusting and underwhelming. And I had to wear pajamas, and the pajamas were so itchy, and it was so uncomfortable. And I was trying to be alone and have my own private space at home, but my grandma keeps coming in. By the way, I love my grandma. She's an amazing grandma, but sometimes it gets annoying. And at night, I my nose suddenly bled, and the blood dropped onto this phone, and I had to wash it, and it was frustrating. Okay, I screwed up a little bit. This should be the real number 8. So basically, number 8 is November 28th, which is like 2 weeks ago. And basically, on that day, I announced that I and Cedric's friendship is ending. I actually don't know if our friendship is really ended or not, but I announced that, so maybe our friendship is really over. We hadn't talked for a long time since that day, so it really sucks. Watch that video. Number 8 would be July 3rd. Basically, me, Jordana, Natalie, and Cedric, and Leo, we were about to meet up. It was towards the end of our 3rd school year, and we were about to meet up for a homework. We need to go to like a district far away from my hometown, like my home district. So how do I describe this? It was like going from I don't know how to describe the distance. I guess I'll show you in the Google map. Well, anyway, basically I had to go far, far away and meet up with my classmates in a museum because we need to do a homework which needs us to go to a museum and write like 500 words about what we see. And I was late, and everyone laughed at me, and I felt so left out. And I got lost everywhere. I ran as fast as I can. I bumped into some other classmates, and I was really angry. I was so angry, and I was left alone. They went out of the museum early, and I was left alone in the museum. And then I just realized I forgot to bring my homework here, so it sucks. Number 5 would be May 3rd. I don't have to go to school that day. We don't have to go to school that day, but I argued with my friend Natalie, and she said I was vulnerable, and I wasn't like affected by her words, and felt so offended and insulted and stuff, but I was really angry. I was really mad, and she reminds me of how unlucky and useless and invisible I am. I know, like, in fact, yeah, I'm kind of useless, but I'm not super useless, but on that day I just felt so angry and I hated myself so much. Not like emo hate, I just felt so invisible and abandoned. And I played 2 hours of video games and never won a single round. And I just told myself everything I've done, everything I've written, everything I've spoken, it means nothing. And I tried to do push-ups, I tried to do sit-ups, I tried to run, I tried to do exercises, and during it, I got so emotional and I cried. It sounds like I'm a pussy, but yeah, I'm actually more weak than you thought. But you know, I felt like I was a failure, and I was born like a failure. Although it's a little dramatic and a little cliche, but on that day, it feels like that. And man, I have reasons to live, though. I have reasons to live. Number 4 is the period between May 23rd to 27th. School was incredibly boring. My health conditions worsened. My mouth hurts as hell. My mobile data ran out, and the exam was coming, and it was stressful. Everyone was panicking because the exam, it's like a monster, and we had to do whatever we can to get good exam results, because if we don't do anything, the exam will just tear our flesh apart, pieces by pieces. We must do whatever we can to survive this exam and all the future ones. And my friends and classmates some of them are still suicidal. Things are really hopeless. On May 27th, I got emotional, and again, in midnight I felt frustrated and I was angry. I had to go to swim, which is annoying and tired. I ran out of time. My mouth was still in pain. My mom kept complaining about me, and I felt so annoyed. And then I played all sorts of video games, but I lost all of them again, which isn't too big of a problem actually, but at that moment it sucks. It hurts, and like a piece of my skin just fell off, and I just hurted myself. Oh, and it sucks. Number 3 is May 8th to 13th. Wow. I'm shooting this video for over half an hour already, and I'm getting really tired, but I'm going to persevere. So May 8th to 13th was very depressing and dreary. I'm not depressed, by the way, but it is depressing. So on May 8th, we have like a basketball exam at school, and our coach, our sports teacher, gave us 10 shots, and he wants to know how many goals can I get, and I get 0 goals. Like 0 of my shots of basketball went into the loop, went into the basket, and I got 0 goals. My friend got 3. I got 0, and I was pretty much the worst in the class. And yeah, I sucked, and I still suck. And on May 12th, it is announced that my house, you remember Harry Potter? Everyone was in a house: Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, Slytherin. I was an orange house. We have red, yellow, orange, green. No blue. Orange house. I was an orange house, and it was basically the worst house in sports day. Like we have a sports day event, and my house performed the worst. And I see many other people's accolades, and yeah. And on May 13th, everything went wrong. It's Saturday. I was super busy. I argued with my mom, and I just felt so frustrated. Sorry, that was number 4. Wait, so if that's number 4... Whew, I'm really tired right now, but I have to finish this video. Number 3 is January 18th. And amongst all subjects at school, Chinese was the worst. I suck at Chinese. And my old Chinese teacher was reading our Chinese exam paper. Like, we have Chinese exam, and the exam is separated into 4 parts. It's basically reading slash, reading new material and old ones, writing, and then there's a listening plus using the things you've listened and writing them, and then we also have speaking. So it was my Chinese writing exam. I need to write like a story. I need to write a story, and then I have to explain the story. It was like I need to write a story based on an object. And it was year 3, and it's so fucking difficult. I have to write in Chinese, and Chinese is a pretty difficult language. And my old Chinese teacher read the paper and had to rate my writing, give it a score, and he gave it a 34 out of 100, which is exactly the reason why I failed the entire Chinese subject, and I was the worst in my class in Chinese. Yay! Right now I'm not the worst, but before I was, and that's terrible. And also, video games problems again. It was like 1 frame per minute. Like, oh wow, low FPS. The FPS is really low. Well, guess what? That video game I was playing, it was 1 FPM, 1 frame per minute. So it was like 1/60th FPS. Wow. So frustrated. Number 2 would be March 25th to 27th. Oh yeah, so on March 25th, we had to perform our drama again, except it is the visiting day. And I had to perform in front of my mom, a bunch of teachers, and some classmates. It was good at first, but after the drama, I wanted to talk to my classmate. I wanted to talk to my friends. Cedric was also there, and Cedric and my classmates talked like they talked, and they didn't talk to me. I just felt so alone and abandoned. And they took like a fucking picture, like a selfie, without me. Like, the selfie is not the problem. Being left out is definitely a problem, though. And then on March 26th, it was Sunday, and the whole morning and afternoon I did nothing, and I wasted a lot of time. I lost my notebook. I practiced basketball with my classmates, but I never goaled once, so I sucked. And then my maths also sucked on that day. We had a quiz, and the science quiz also sucked, and I still couldn't find my notebook. And then on that day, we also have Chinese speaking exam, and it's really stressful. I had to speak in Mandarin Chinese, not even Cantonese, Mandarin. And exams are coming again, and it was stressful. There's a shit ton of homeworks, and I was in 3A, and the entire 3C is kind of ignoring me, and I was still feeling really left out and alone, and I didn't leave the school with my friends. The worst day of 2017 would be February 4th. It was basically the last day of my Chinese New Year holiday. We have an extra holiday. We have Christmas and then Chinese New Year. Like, we have 2 holidays. And it is basically the second last day of our Chinese New Year holiday. I still had not finished my Chinese homework, which sucks, and I sucked at video games again, and then suddenly I got stomach flu. Like I ate something wrong or something, like I just kept having stomach ache, and I think it's stomach flu, but I don't know. It was really painful suddenly, and my dad had to take me to a hospital to like to uh to 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 diagnose like whatever problem I was having, and it was gastroenteritis, so it's probably stomach flu. And originally I was supposed to watch Game of Thrones, The Reigns of Castamere, the Red Wedding on that day. Tragic episode, but it's a great episode. I couldn't watch on that day, and I think it was something wrong I ate, but it really sucks. I had stomach ache for about half a month since that day, and everything sucks. And yeah. So, what is your best days and worst days of 2017? Comment it below. Subscribe if you want more.